Hey, Randy, Emily, welcome to the Decision Tube, an offshoot of the Decision Reel where we take a deep dive of TV shows episode by episode.
New series.
Ooh.
That's what it is. And to kick off, being, what day is it? May the 4th.
Oh.
Be with
I
you.
didn't know we were jumping into the future.
We are.
Okay.
Because when this releases,
Yeah, it'll be May 4th.
it will be May 4th.
Mhm.
And with that, for the first episode of possibly this new series, we're going to look at a TV show because this is the Decision Tube for TV. We're looking at The Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen The Mandalorian, Randall?
I've seen not the first episode. I don't know what episode I saw.
So you're
It
saying
was-
you
it was
only
maybe
saw
like
one
a year
episode
ago when one of the new episodes came out like a year ago.
and you just watched a random episode.
It was
Because-
on. It was on. I didn't.
was
I didn't
on.
choose to watch it. I was at somebody's house.
Oh,
and they had
okay.
it on.
All right.
Yeah.
I was like, it's not on TV, Randall. It's
No.
not like you can just flip it.
No, no,
okay,
no.
I got you.
No,
I
no,
got
no.
it now. Okay. So,
What came out last year? Was it last year?
yeah, so they're at season 4. They're in season 4. So, yeah, it's been every year or two. I think they missed one.
it
yeah.
was the one where they were in the cave going on the boat in the water, and then he lost something.
Oh, so that's not
Was that 2 years
spoilers.
ago?
That's the first season. That's like the last episode of this season.
Oh,
So, potentially,
okay. So it might have
We're
been
good.
a long time ago.
might have been a long time. Well, no,
Goodness.
hold
A lot
on.
longer.
That doesn't mean anything because somebody could have been watching that whenever.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that they were watching it as soon as it came out.
Yeah.
Right. But we're watching it now.
Now.
Right. Now, I'm a big Star Wars guy. I wouldn't say I'm like a huge Star Wars nerd who's like into everything Star Wars and likes everything and like, holy shit, you know, my whole life revolves around it. What are you looking around for?
I
There's
know.
nothing-
I know this box is over there.
Oh, yeah.
There's some boxes.
Yeah, I got some Legos.
Uh-huh.
I got some lightsabers. I got some helmets,
There's
right?
2 lightsabers sitting on the table outside.
Well, we're getting ready to do something this weekend, too, for the May the 4th Be With You date.
Do Star Wars people have a name? Like
Yeah, no,
Trekkies?
I get what you're saying. Not really. I mean, maybe Forces, because, you know, the Force. No, I mean,
Oh, you're talking about like the fandom.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
not
I said like Trekkies.
right.
Trying to give you a
Star Trek,
Yeah.
Trekkies.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Now you do. Welcome to the world.
Oh, your dad watches it. Star Trek.
No, that's just like a thing.
You just
just
knew
like a
that?
no-
It was
yeah,
common
it's
That's just
knowledge?
a thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Star Trek?
No.
Anything of Star
No.
Trek? I'm sure you have.
Yeah.
Yeah. The movies that came out recently with Chris Pine, they're pretty good. I'll say that. The older movies, where if you're looking,
Which
you know,
Chris is that? Keep going.
really,
The one that you didn't think belonged on the Chris ranking.
I don't remember what he looks like.
have you seen the newest Dungeons and Dragons movie?
Oh, this one.
Oh, I mean, I thought you might have seen that because
No.
your girl from Fast and Furious is in it.
Fuck. What's her name?
Oh my God, really? Isn't it Michelle?
Pfeiffer.
No.
Michelle.
No.
It's not Michelle.
No, I know it's not.
What's her name there?
In Fast and Furious?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
No, around Fast and Furious.
I didn't know if you meant the actress's name.
Look at us not knowing anything.
What is?
Well, imdb.com.
Where?
If I had faster internet, even though I have the fastest.
This is a real
Fast
podcast.
and Furious.
By the way.
It is, yeah. If you're definitely Michelle Rodriguez, I was
Yeah,
close.
yeah,
Look
yeah.
at me. Yeah, if you're tuning in for the first time, you know, normally there's things that happens here. I guess we can get along with this. This is going to be a kind of a learning episode. This is going to be the first of possibly a series of TV reviews, going
Mhm.
episode by episode. So what we're looking at today, like we said, Chapter 1 of The Mandalorian, which is called Chapter 1, The Mandalorian. The plot of this episode, a Mandalorian bounty hunter tracks a target for a well-paying, mysterious client.
Mandalorian.
Yes.
What was he in Star Wars?
Okay. This is where I guess my knowledge comes
Yes.
in, right? So the Mandalorians are I wouldn't say a race of people, but a clan of people from the planet Mandalore. So, it's pretty easy, right?
Okay.
Okay, and they have a certain way in which they live, which is they never take their helmets off.
Mm-hmm.
They talk and have like this way, this is the way, kind of talking, whatever. And they kind of have like a pretty serious religion that they're all in, and that's kind of about it. If you're looking at the original Star Wars trilogy, do you know who Boba Fett is?
Yes.
Yes. So Boba Fett is a Mandalorian.
Oh.
They're always basically bounty hunters throughout the galaxy, trying to kill people, capture people, make money for their clan of people.
So their clan is bounty hunters.
Technically, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, right. They're basically going around. So basically, it gets fleshed out in this show eventually.
I figured it would.
But I don't want to really break it down too much if we are going to do this, but pretty easily their home planet gets not destroyed, but ransacked, if you will, and they have to leave. So then they're now like this clan of people on the run looking for a home. And they're like always in the shadows, they're always under the streets, they're always whatever, and everybody works for each other kind of thing, and and if you watch this episode, which you guys, I'm assuming, did, you look to the end of it, what's happening, right? He's coming back to everybody that's underground, that's seemingly the family of Mandalorians, and he brings basically the bounty that he brought back, that he won or got for getting all those people in, and gives it to everyone, right? He doesn't keep it for himself. He's giving it to everybody because that's the whole idea. Is it's a family-esque type thing.
And I'm assuming they're going to explain what that steel is.
It's Beskar.
Yeah, they're going to explain what
Yes,
it is.
yes.
Okay.
Think of it like vibranium. It's like the best metal in the galaxy.
And
It's
she didn't make that shoulder pad out of it.
She did.
Oh, she did.
Only a little bit of it, because she even says there's
It's
a lot
gonna
here.
help.
It's going to help the foundlings.
Yeah.
The foundlings are little kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. So,
That was close.
well, what'd you think?
I can't.
No.
That's
It
cool.
was the cool thing.
Oh.
We
Cool.
have watched a lot of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Isn't that from
Yes.
Community as well?
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
But he does it
I
in
think it's from,
Brooklyn
like, a lot of
Nine-Nine
things.
a lot. So, like, we'll randomly do it more, but he can't get all of the, like, cools out. Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
You're skipping over. You got
Yeah.
to cool.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't.
I got you.
The way my throat works, it's not.
Have
that
you
way.
guys, speaking of TV shows, have you guys watched Community before?
I've seen some of it.
Watch it from episode 1. If you're not into it by episode 3, you wouldn't like it, but it hooks you quick.
It's like The Office, Parks and Rec kind of thing.
Kind of, but it's better and it goes way off the deep end.
Well, yeah.
Like good off the deep end.
That's the one with like this background story
Yes.
happening
Yes.
with the pregnant girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's some really good stuff in that show that if you haven't seen, you should watch.
We can
And-
talk about TV shows now because this is the TV one.
Exactly.
That's
That's why I
awesome.
said speaking of TV shows, right. So where to watch The Mandalorian if you have a subscription to Disney Plus, you can watch it there, or if you want to sail the high seas, you can download it somehow and watch it wherever. Not gonna say where.
Is it on Plex?
I don't know, is it?
I don't know. I watched it on Disney Plus.
Okay. It might be. I don't know. I do have a Disney Plus account, so there's a lot of stuff on there that I'm
That's
like,
good.
I don't
Don't need to.
need to.
Yeah.
But then when the mouse is like, guess what, motherfucker?
Mhm.
The price is going up. I'm going, I already got it.
I already got
I
it.
already got it. It's fine. The mouse, yes. Because the mouse is... I would try to do the voice, but I know I'd fuck it up. The really high-pitched
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse voice.
Mick Mouse.
Yeah.
Mick Mouse.
Fucking guys. This episode is written by Jon Favreau and George Lucas. Do you guys even know who George Lucas is? She does. Do you know who
I don't
George
know.
Lucas is? The man who created Star Wars.
He's still alive?
The 70s are not that far away.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
He
Sorry.
is so
Sorry.
bad at time.
It feels like, I don't know.
Feels like forever.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, think about it. Before you were born, which was in, what, 95?
Five.
Look at me. The 70s are, like, you know, a long part from, I mean, that's 30 years away from that.
It's the late 1900s.
Yeah. Hate it. I was watching something the other day, and there was this, like, girl, not in, I think it was college. She was, like, doing, like, a college thesis, like, talking, and she was, like, back in the late 1900s, and I'm like, like 1920s.
Disgusting.
No, she was like, the MTV demographic. I was like, oh my God, shut the fuck up. That's me. I'm old. God damn it. This episode was directed by Dave Filoni. Now, these two names, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, one of them should sound more familiar to
Jon
you than
Favreau.
yes, Jon
Yes.
Favreau. Where do you know him from?
I don't know where. I remember hearing you say his name a lot.
Marvel.
Really?
Wow, are you even a Marvel fan?
Did you know?
I'm not the one
Oh,
who
okay.
says I'm
That's
a
fair.
Marvel fan.
So Jon Favreau wrote and directed Iron Man 1 and 2, and he's also Happy Hogan in the Marvel series. Iron Man's right-hand man.
Oh.
Oh.
I knew that. I didn't know that.
Well,
knew that.
you do now.
Yeah.
So anyways, so basically, Dave Filoni was this guy who was making a bunch of cartoon shows, Star Wars, right? He was doing pretty much all the best, I would say, CGI cartoon shows that were out there. That was for, Disney back in the day. And he was doing such a good job that they said, hey, look, we need to revamp our Star Wars catalog, and we want to start doing TV shows. So they put him in charge with Jon Favreau. The cool thing now is he's done such a good job, they're giving him movies. And he's basically the head of directing all this Star Wars content because, number one, he fucking knows what he's doing. He knows what's gone on before him, and he seems like he knows how to make Star Wars. I don't know, and again, this is, I guess, coming from me being a fan, but not a huge fan, but apparently I am. If you watch the original trilogy, they're great. Everybody says those are the best movies. Then you watch the episode 1, 2, and 3, and people are like, it's okay. And then the newest movies that come out, everybody says they're dog shit. I would say the first one's really good. The Force Awakens is pretty good. But they didn't have a plan of action when they were making these 3 movies. They basically said, hey, we're going to make this one movie. We're going to leave all this open-endedness, whatever. The next guy's going to direct it, and he can do whatever he wants with it. Well, that next guy, whose name is Rian Johnson, came in and went, I'm gonna fuck this up because I want to make a Star Wars movie that no one's seen before. So he does shit in this movie that they have to retcon in the next movie. When you don't have an overarching story beats laid out and you have to change things, it's not good, right? So as a fan, you're watching it and you're like, what? You're getting... There's a famous thing going out there. The third movie was... I know you guys don't care about this, but the Emperor comes back, and he was in the original trilogy, and he fucking dies. They show him die in the original trilogy. They don't show him come back on screen in the third movie. Fortnite, yes, the game Fortnite, announced him coming back over the radio stream in which they had this Star Wars thing going on, and that's how they said, oh, the Emperor's back, and then the movie starts, and he's back.
This is the
third movie in the newest trilogy.
It's fucking weird.
So you have...
How do you do that?
Here's my qualm with it. You have what is kind of regarded as one of the most evil villains of all time in a movie trilogy. You decide to bring him back, cool. But you don't bring him back in a way that you see it on screen. You bring it back to where you have to be 15 and younger to be playing Fortnite to see it happen.
And hear it on the radio in the game just to know that it's coming back.
Right.
The balls.
Not the balls,
on them.
no. It's the stupidity. Who's your
Sons of
demographic?
bitches.
Hold on. Think about this. Who's the demographic of people who would know who the fuck that person is?
The older
The older
people.
People, right. The older
Yeah,
people,
the
yes.
older.
Are they playing Fortnite?
Well,
Some of them.
Some of them. The percentage of people who are going to go see a Star Wars movie that would know who the Emperor is, who is in that age demographic, is not playing Fortnite. So why would the main bad guy of this movie, who is also the main bad guy of 3 other movies, not be a bigger, hey, we're going to make a scene in which he randomly comes back?
like an end credit.
Right.
Could have done that.
Well, because they didn't have a fucking idea what they were doing. They were
Yeah.
making it up as they went. So somebody in a boardroom went, I got it. We're going to get the young guys in. We're going to bring them back in Fortnite, right? And that's going to hook everybody because they're going to be like, oh, man, we got to go see this now. How the fuck do you come back? But we're not going to say it. You know the opening credits where they have the scroll?
Mm-hmm.
That's how they said he came back. Oh, somehow Palpatine returns.
That's cheap.
Somehow.
They had no idea
No.
what they were doing at all.
No.
They just needed another character. They were like, what
They
are we
needed a
gonna
bad
do?
guy, and they're like, fuck, because they killed off, Rain Johnson kills off the big bad guy in the second movie that they were talking about in the first movie just cheaply. Because he wanted a cheap, like, oh,
Idiots.
stupid. Anyways, there's my rant for the day. Getting back to The
It's
Mandalorian.
going to be more. What are you talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about. The first episode here is starring Pedro Pascal as the Mandalorian. I just want to say Pedro, my boy. He's,
See?
yeah.
I really love him.
You don't
No.
like Pedro?
No, I did.
Oh, okay.
No.
I was going to
No,
say,
I
we're
remember
we'll
you
have
saying
qualms.
C. I didn't know he was. I didn't know he was in it.
C,
That's
yes.
the only thing that.
Well, you
She
don't.
obviously didn't know that
You
he
don't.
was Mandalorian.
You could maybe be like, that voice sounds a little familiar. Who's that voice? And he barely speaks, too,
Yeah.
which is, I kind of like.
And it has
You know what I
something
mean?
that like radio effect.
Yep,
over
yep,
it,
right,
too.
because he's got
Yeah.
the helmet on. But again, like I feel like that just adds to the mysterious. Obviously, this is the first episode of the series. He's supposed to be mysterious. You don't know what the fuck's going on. You don't know who this is. It's kind of cool going back and watching it for me again to look at it and be like, oh. Like, I like seeing things differently because I did watch this as it came out. Okay, I guess I am a big Star Wars fan. I'll admit it. Fucking love this, by the way. Just saying this off the bat. You guys can hate on it all you want when we're done through here, but I like what Dave Filoni's doing here. I like what the atmosphere of it. It just feels very Star Warsy. Now, if you don't have like a good feeling about Star Wars, or if you weren't growing up being like, yeah, Star Wars is fucking awesome, you're not gonna sit there and watch this and be like, okay, cool. You know, you're just like, Star Wars.
We had 15 minutes left, and she said, I don't want to do the podcast anymore. This is boring.
What?
At first, I was like, fine. And then like 10 minutes went by. I was like, no, we're watching this, and you're doing it.
What was boring
Come
about it?
on.
So I mean, I also did acknowledge right afterwards that I felt like it was also a lot to do with the fact that it is a first episode of a series. So there's a lot of like starting off they have to do and like
Yes.
getting the whole,
Sure.
you know, and that was boring.
I mean, but there's like a firefight in the beginning. He captures somebody, and then he's put on a quest, and then on the quest, he meets a man. I have spoken. That's hilarious.
I was going to do that tonight.
Oh, wow. Sorry.
You took it from me. It's fine.
And then there has to be somewhat of a downturn there to like grow and learn, and you got to learn about the character. And then there's a fucking wicked ass awesome firefight at the end with a giant reveal.
Yeah.
I don't think she cares about the firefight.
Missed him.
Did you get it?
No.
Oh, no.
No.
There's a firefly.
Damn.
Up there.
Firefight, firefly,
Yeah,
whatever.
I don't
So-
think she cares about the firefights. We do. I liked them. Especially the door closing.
That was tight.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah.
no part of this that you're just like, all right.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. I mean, it wasn't like the whole time I was like, oh my God, I hate that I'm watching this. It wasn't like that. It was more just like there was nothing really like sucking me in either, like pulling me into like be. I don't know.
To be watching
I
it.
mean, like
got it, okay.
I asked a couple questions throughout. I was like, okay, so like this is what's happening, whatever. Like,
Well, you're asking the wrong guy, too.
well, yeah.
I answered to the best of my ability.
I realized that every
the
single time.
guy in the helmet there, he's
Well, at one point,
he's a
Nathaniel.
Mandalorian.
yeah, at one point
Right.
I asked a question, and he had changed the answer like 3 times, and then was like,
No.
so adamant about his answer, and I was like, no, you can't
No,
do that.
yeah.
You can't just
funny.
guess 3 times and then be totally sure about
He
your
said something, then
answer.
opened his phone and was like, no, wait, I meant this.
Do you remember your question?
Shit, I meant this.
No.
Then you have no proof.
Oh, I was gonna say. I mean, I'll try to answer it if you remember it. But we also got in the episode Carl Weathers is Greed Karga, which is a cool ass name, Greed Karga. Weiner Herzog as the client. Omid Abtahi as Dr. Penn Pershing. Nick Nolte as That guy's voice, I have spoken. His name, what? Kuiil. How would you say that?
Kuiil.
Kuiil? Kuiil?
Kuiil.
Yeah, maybe. Sure.
I don't know.
We got Taka Waititi as IG-11, the voice, and Horatio Sands as Mithril.
Say taco.
Taka Waititi.
Oh, they said taco.
Taka Waititi.
Taco Waititi.
It is Norwegian, I believe.
That's
Sure.
Yeah.
He directed one of your favorite movies of all time, just to let you know. The third Thor movie.
Ragnarok.
Yes.
We just watched
watched
that.
that.
Right. And you like that, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, see, there you go. So he's the guy that's, he's the voice of IG-11, the robot in this episode.
The robot, the droid bounty hunter.
Yes.
Okay.
We're tracking
Poor
it.
guy.
I've really enjoyed most of the Marvel movies.
Most of them. Which one have you watched that you went, no?
She didn't like. Well, we didn't watch. I can't say that one. Black Panther. We didn't watch that one.
That wasn't my choice.
Well,
was
we
your
didn't
choice.
watch it, so
I'm just saying.
you don't have an opinion on that one.
No, I
Doctor
don't.
Strange.
It's a good
Yeah.
movie.
It wasn't
like
that I
Doctor
didn't like
Strange.
Doctor Strange. It was just that I was very I just wasn't as invested in that one as the other
Yeah,
ones.
I feel like you have to watch it, though, to kind of see what happens
Yeah,
later.
That's
Yeah.
why we watched.
It's not the most exciting movie. And also, it's kind of like this, where you're learning a character who doesn't have a lot going on,
Yeah.
kind of
It
whatever.
felt very
Flat.
stacked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like there wasn't
Now,
and-
the
and-
end got kind of good.
No,
Let's
it
say-
did. It
yeah.
did. I got, but as far as like the other ones, like I feel
Invested.
I think even the characters are just
Mhm.
more appealing and like I feel more like I get sucked into each of them more.
Well,
and,
I feel
I-
like with Doctor Strange, they tried to do this thing that they did with Iron Man, which is he's an asshole, but he's a likable asshole. But you've already done it.
yeah.
So why do I want to see another likable
He is
asshole?
very Iron Man esque.
Right, which he should be, because that is his character in the comics, is he's such a good plastic surgeon and all this stuff, and then it gets taken away and whatever. But it does get better with him, I'll say that.
Okay.
Now, once he comes into all this other stuff, there's also a movie that was directed by one of my favorite directors, Sam Raimi, which is, I believe, the second Doctor Strange, because they only made 2 Doctor Strange movies,
Mhm.
right?
Multiverse.
Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
A lot of people were like, I didn't like
I
it.
liked it.
I liked it. It's pretty,
It was cool.
it's out there, so.
I feel like since we talked about it, like the way I felt about Doctor Strange is very similarly to kind of how I felt watching this episode. Like I just felt like there was nothing for
Well,
me to connect
Sure,
to.
sure. And also, the story beats are sort of the same, like we said, where it's basically it's building a character that
Yeah.
you don't know about, that you don't have any connection to, that you probably don't even give a fuck about,
Yeah.
and then you gotta do something for me to care about. But I will say this episode, minus one scene at the end where he's like touching, trying. That's got to be the scene that you're like, oh, okay, wait a second, all right, you're drawing me in. You know what I mean? I will say, seeing the whole series, and I'm sure you know everything surrounding what's coming next episode in this, with regards to everybody going crazy over the last few years with something. Baby Yoda.
So that's well. What's funny is like at the toward the end of the episode, I said, "Do people actually like the show, or do they like Baby Yoda?"
I will say this. While you might not have liked this episode, I really like this episode. That's fine. Everybody's got their own thing. It does change dramatically with how the stories and the episodes are told as it goes.
Yeah, I also can definitely see like if you were someone that watched Star Wars, or if Star Wars has like this nostalgia feel or
Yes.
interested, then in this would be more exciting, and I think would help kind of with that initial connection
Sure,
to the
yeah,
show
yeah, yeah.
that was missing as somebody that like, doesn't know a lot of what's going
Right.
on.
So
I look for like when I'm starting a show, like I need like a character, like because most pilot episodes do a lot of that work. That they're
they have to, yeah,
because you have to do that. So there's not, but I just feel like I look for like a character, like someone to like pull me in to relate to connect to, and I feel like this was very like
there's not much to connect with.
there's not
other
much
than-
going
yeah.
on yet.
So one scene that I'm going to give a contrast to, which I know you're going to go, okay, and I went, oh yeah, was the scene in which he opens the door to the meeting first when he gets, go to the bounty, right? Those doors open and there's stormtroopers there that are like wearing armor that's all rusted and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I went, oh, we're doing this. This is awesome, because the whole idea is the Empire's gone. Like if this takes place right after or shortly after the last movie, Return of the Jedi, right? So this is the first trilogy. This is in between the first trilogy and the new movies. So they're all dead. They're all gone. They're all broken apart. But here we are with a little pocket like resistance of people holding on to the Empire and like all this stuff. And I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. But I'm sure the door opened to you, and you're like, okay. Because
I mean, they looked familiar to me.
see, exactly,
that was about
right?
all I got,
So,
but-
and that's the thing, right? If you don't know,
Yeah.
you're not going to sit there and be like, well, that means something, or this character in the background means something walking around that bar or whatever.
Yeah.
To me, I'm like, look at that shit, look at that shit.
Yeah, because
There
even
it
with
is.
even
Yep.
with the meeting with the one guy, he said Empire's dead.
Right.
It's gone.
Right.
So if you hadn't seen the movies, then you wouldn't know that it's like connected to the whole thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I just remembered one of the questions that I had.
Oh, okay. Hit me.
What was the robot guy that he was shooting?
IG-88.
Okay, so when they found baby Yoda, and he was like, no, like like
yeah.
he said kill, he said terminate, and then he shoots him,
Mhm.
and I was like, did he shoot them because he realized they were sent by different people or something?
See, that's the question.
Yeah.
Because if you noticed, and if you were paying attention, his objective was bring him back alive
Right.
or
If you
dead.
have to.
And the
but-
scientist
yeah.
was like, whoa, 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 that's not what we talked about.
Yeah.
So then the robot's there to kill it.
Right. Okay.
See,
So that was important. That was okay.
that is
Because I
important.
asked him, and he was like, "Ooh."
I
then-
said different people
You didn't at first. That was one of the times you
because
said
I had
three
to
other
think about it,
things.
and I was like, you know what? No, that makes sense.
But again, you don't know at this point in time. You're like, wait a second. Oh.
Yeah. And that's kind of what the conversation was. Is he was like, well, no, he's supposed to kill. And I was like, well, no, he's supposed to kill. He could, and he had to have proof. But the first initial thing was bring him back alive.
So I feel like this episode has the thing where it has to build a little bit, right? It has to do what it needs to do. And then at the end, it has the hook, which you got to have the hook, obviously, right?
Yeah.
But to me, that's what made everyone go, oh, okay, I'm in. Because
I mean, yeah, like clearly that was the one part of like at the end that I was like, okay, something's going on here.
right. And the cool thing that Disney did is they did weekly releases of this. They didn't dump it out all at 1st.
Mhm.
And the reason why I like that, and I know maybe people don't like this because they like to binge shit, I like the idea of anticipation and people going, wait a second, what did that mean? And then talking about it online for a week. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
to think, okay, this is what I want to do, or this is what I think's going to happen, or no, you're wrong, or the whole idea was when this episode happened, nobody knew that it was going to be a Yoda that was in that fucking thing. They didn't
Mhm.
even know what the show was really about, just other than a Mandalorian, right? So then you get this reveal at the end of, holy shit, it's a baby Yoda, and he's 50 years old. Wait a second, and they barely show him, and then like the little touch or whatever. Dude, I remember the internet exploding. Like, wait a second, is this Yoda's child? Is this like where is this in the timeline, or all does this fit, and like all this shit? And I remember like, yes, this is what I want to see. And then obviously the next episode happens, and all this other shit happens. And there are a lot of stuff that happens in this show that if you don't know Star Wars lore, you're gonna be like, okay, well that was kind of cool, but yeah, whatever, right?
Yeah.
There are some characters that come and go in this show that one of them for sure you're gonna be like, okay. One of them you'll probably be like, holy shit, I know that person, right? So I kind of like that. This is what brings Dave Filoni, the guy that we talked about doing all the older shows before the cartoon
name.
shows. I know, right? Where he brings his stuff into this, where he's bringing characters from the cartoon shows into real life shows, and even that is like a huge deal because think about it, you're seeing someone on actual TV in real life that is a cartoon character. So you got to cast that person, because it's Star Wars, you got to make them look a certain way, you know what I mean? Because Star Wars characters look a little funky, and sometimes you're like, well, you can't really do that because cartoons are easy to make it look fucking weird.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How you gonna do that live action? And they pull off some crazy shit in this show. So I'm excited to watch this back again. If this is where we're gonna go, we'll see. We'll see. The runtime on this episode, 39 minutes.
Perfect.
Yeah. Here's what I like about certain movies. I'm so used to talking about movies. Certain TV shows that are released on streaming platforms. There's no, hey, you got to be 22 minutes or you got to be 42 minutes
Yeah.
or whatever it is. You can just do whatever you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
The last show that I watched that I really liked from can't remember the guy's name. The Fall of the House of Usher. I don't know if you guys seen that.
Nope.
No. Have you seen? What was the other? He's basically done a episodic series every year. Mike Flanagan is his name. He's done a episodic series every year on Netflix, and has the same cast of characters, like the same people in it, kind of like American Horror Story, where it's the same people but
Okay.
different, whatever. And it is horror driven, kind of. There's the one where the chick gets like hung at the end.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
Hill House.
Yeah,
Or
yeah, Hill House.
something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that? Yeah.
So
I saw
then-
that one.
Right. So there's 4 now, I believe, from him. And the last one was The Fall of House of Usher. If you guys haven't watched that, watch it. It's fucking crazy. Are you an Edgar Allan Poe person? No, doesn't matter.
Indifferent.
Okay, well, it's based off of all of Edgar Allan Poe's stuff,
Okay.
but it's a real show that's like, it's not like, oh, we got to recite his poetry or whatever. No, it's just based off of the stories, and it's really well done. And there was a couple like parts where I was like, oh shit, that's kind of scary, right? Because even in that series, there was a couple parts too where I was like, oh fuck, like I was not expecting that, right? So,
Yeah.
and I'm a pretty hard person to not just scare, but like jump scare even. Like I just don't have feeling, so I'm just like, oh yeah, cool.
We know.
But but there was a couple parts in that show, and it's always it's not pushing it in your face, it's you're paying attention and you see something in your face, right? Like there's one scene, they're in a basement and they're like clearing something out, and there's like a ghost or something in the wall behind them that they're like, nothing's going on that would tell you to look there. But I'm like, wait a second, what the oh shit. And then that was it. And I was like, oh, fuck this show.
I want a jump scare.
Watch all of them. They're really good.
I
Have
like being scared?
You haven't seen
know.
any of that then?
No. I had no idea what you're
Being
talking
scared
about.
is fun sometimes. I still remember.
I love being
I
scared.
think it was The Conjuring, I guess, when that first came out. I felt like I hadn't there were like parts of that like had like that I did like kind of jump for it. I feel like I hadn't felt like that about a scary movie in a while. And I specifically remember the part in The Conjuring, little girl's like in her bed or something, and then they turn and the thing is on top of her like wardrobe. And I remember just really that was like a big. I still remember that.
Yeah.
Like, I remember jumping at that.
So Mike Flanagan has been one of my favorite like horror directors in a while. I'm just gonna go over a couple of movies that he's done that you might have seen. There's a movie first kind of I got on with, which is called Oculus.
That sounds familiar. I don't know if I've seen
It was with like they basically were looking at like a mirror in like an old house, and like it was like some crazy shit went on. Who was in it? Karen Gillan was in it. You know who that is?
Yeah, I do.
Exactly. So she's the main character, and there's some crazy shit that happens with like a mirror and stuff, which is it's a good movie.
It sounds really familiar. When was that?
2013.
Okay.
Now-
It sounds super familiar too.
Sure. And then there was another movie called Hush that came out on Netflix where this girl's
Oh,
in a
yeah,
cabin
yeah.
and she can't hear.
She's deaf.
She's deaf. Thank you.
Oh.
And then people come.
She just can't hear.
Right. She just can't hear.
She had loud music the night before.
I
Right.
didn't. I never watched it, but I do remember.
That was a good
seeing
one.
that.
It's a good
That's a good
movie.
movie.
It's not like a scary movie because it's not like creatures or anything. It's just dudes coming out of the like trying to kill her, and she's got to defend herself, and she can't hear anything. And these guys got like crossbows and shit, and like it's pretty wild.
Honestly, sometimes the like real things like that scare me more.
Oh yeah, because
Yeah,
it happens.
yeah,
Because it can literally happen to you.
Yeah.
There's another movie he directed called Gerald's Game. Same kind of thing. This older couple, go to like a cabin to like spice up their sex life because they haven't whatever.
Good for them.
So the girl gets handcuffed to the bed, and like whatever. And right as they're starting to get going, her husband has a heart attack and dies on her.
Well, she's stuck.
The movie is she's now stuck. It's fucking
Rough.
wild. It's on Netflix. Watch it because it's one of those
oh my
like
God, I would be forever traumatized.
it's pretty crazy. That's all I'll say for that. Then he went on to do The Haunting of Hill House, which is really good.
Yeah.
You need to watch that. It's a 10-episode series. Netflix, really good. He then did Doctor Sleep, which was a spiritual. Well, no, it was a successor. It was the sequel to what the goddamn movie?
Doctor Strange.
No, The Shining.
Mm.
but like so many years later. Apparently, it was really good. I never seen it. It's on my list. I don't want to watch it, but whatever. After that, he did The Haunting of Bly Manor. Another thing to watch. Really good. Same kind of thing where he's taking the same characters or the same actors and putting them in different creepy, shit. Then he did Midnight Mass, which came out the year after, which is really fucking wild too. It's about this like Alaskan town that barely is hanging on, and they all go to mass, and some shit kind of happens because there's a new father that comes in, and for whatever reason he's young, but he shouldn't be young.
Well, I don't go to church.
I don't want to say it's then there's some like crazy shit flying through the air that people are like, what the fuck's going on? And somebody like comes back from the dead that was dead, and then people are just like, what the fuck is happening here? And then more creatures are flying through the air. If you're not catching on what I'm saying about creatures and death and being young again.
Oh.
It's wild. And there's some
Did you get it?
No.
I didn't get it either. Okay. I mean, I got it now.
No, we
No,
got
before you-
that.
before
We got
you-
that
before you
part.
did it. Yeah.
what I'm saying
I
is
was going
though
with like Harry Potter.
yeah, okay, sure. There's some very,
I had
very
nothing. I was just very invested in what was happening. It was being said.
there's some very, very thought-provoking conversations that happen in this show because it's all revolving around death. If you're not a person who likes a lot of dialogue in their TV shows, there's some of these shows might not be for you. Like if you don't find a conversation between two people on a couch in which they're like going through all the range of emotions, then maybe this wouldn't be for you.
You mean like people having a script?
No, like, hey, we're going to sit down and for like half this 45-hour-long episode, it's just going to be one conversation.
Oh.
But it's a gripping-ass conversation that you're invested in. If you're not into that and you're just like, I want to see action. I want to see this dude punch this dude. Like, you're not going to like it. I honestly find, maybe I said that to you directly. Sorry.
That's fair. I feel like, as
Yeah.
you were saying, I felt like it would lose him a little bit.
Yeah. Unless it was like really like
It's
oh,
grip.
you're
It'd be a
pulling
time
me
he picked up his
in.
phone and then he'd have no idea what's going on.
Well, so that's another thing with these shows is you cannot not be paying attention. Like every single part of those episodes, you have to be paying attention. Like, okay, there's a couple things that you can miss, obviously, but there's so many callbacks, there's so many setups, there's so many, hey, what the fuck was that in the background, that if you're not paying attention, you're missing out on basically what they're trying to show you, right? So those shows to me would be put your phone down, like lock it in a fucking safe, watch an episode a night. Like it's really good. If you've never seen Haunting a Hill House, you obviously start there because that's the first whatever, and that would be the test for you. I know you've seen the whole thing, right?
Mhm.
It's really good. At the end, talking about, yeah, so
At
good.
the end.
It's so good. Then after that, he did The Fall of the House of Usher, which came out last year, which, like I said, amazing. I think it was one of the best shows I've seen last year, top to bottom. Had a great payoff. Every episode was like me and Tiffany were like, let's put the next episode on. I'm like, nope, we're waiting. Every day we'll do an episode kind of thing. We ended up every other day or, however the schedule works out, but it was kind of like we were just talking about it. And going back to what we were talking about Mandalorian about how weekly episodes, that then you can talk to your spouse about, you know what I mean? Like, hey, if you guys are both into it, like, what'd you think happened there? What do you think's going to happen? And to me, that makes TV. That makes movies even, right? The problem with movies, though, and why I sort of kind of like TV better is you watch a movie, it's over. Depending if there's a sequel and they tee it up, but most of all the problems are solved.
Mhm.
So there's no sense of, let me figure this out with someone else, or let me talk about it to try and figure it out. It's already been figured out. Like, yeah, you can sit and talk in a movie, and if Randy, of anybody sitting at this table, knows I talk during movies, why do you think I do?
You just want to figure it out on your own.
Right, or I'm like, oh, what'd you think about that?
Yeah.
Or oh, I bet you this fucking person did it, or
I'm not
whatever.
allowed to talk during movies.
No.
How come I'm allowed to talk?
I can't. There's nothing I can say to make you not. You're just going to do it.
So let her talk.
I don't like when you talk during movies,
Well, that's
but you
too bad.
do it.
Yeah, so
That's just who you are.
that's who she is.
But sometimes it's like a question about the movie while we're watching the movie. Like, I don't know. I'm watching the fucking same movie you are. We're going to figure it out together. But with you, it's like, do you see what
Okay.
happened?
No. That's not
No.
true.
Yes,
Because the
it
only
is.
time I've ever asked a question about a movie we're watching is a movie you have seen before. I do not ask you
but I'm
questions
watching
about
the movie
movies
again.
we
I'm
haven't
invested in the
seen.
movie yet again, which is why we're watching it.
Touche.
Again.
Touche.
Whatever.
Whatever.
I like being in the movie while I'm watching it.
Mm-hmm.
I
Which
do
is why I
too.
want surround
But
sound.
that's why I'm sitting there and I'm trying to figure shit out. And I don't know. I like talking. Obviously, I have a
I know
podcast.
you do.
Well, and like recently I even said, I think part of the thing too is that I'm also working from home. So I'm working by myself. I rarely talk to that many people all day. So then he comes home and he just wants to watch a movie and I just want to talk to him.
What's wrong
She
with
does
that?
talk. I pause it.
Okay. New thing. Before you put the movie on, how was your day, Randall?
I ask her that during the day. How's it going? How's work?
But that's text messaging. She wants to physically talk to you.
You should see his face. He'll get home and I just like excited of
Sometimes it's a
so
lot.
many things to say. And he's just like looking at me like, I'm like, I have been silent all day. I have just
I
been
need to
waiting
talk
to
to
speak to you.
Well, I also work from home, and I guess the difference is I get to talk to people because I have to call people. So
Mhm.
if I didn't, yeah, I still would be the same. I don't. Tiffany come home and be like, "Hey, what's up? What's up? Cool." Also,
Yeah.
we've been married 12 years and getting married soon. So you're gonna learn. You're gonna learn how it goes. Okay, back to the Mandalore. Released date of the episode: November 12th, 2009. Does that sound right?
Was it really?
2019. That's a
That sounds better.
yeah. That is a
It's like,
typo.
no fucking way.
2019.
There's no Disney Plus then.
There was no Disney
No.
Plus then. I remember the day Disney Plus came out, and I remember going home and like
Add
Getting-
everything.
it didn't have everything, but I remember going through. I hit the all button. I was like, let me see what they got. And I was like, they're missing aristocrats and all this shit. I'm fucking piece of shit. What am I paying $6 for? Now it's what? 15? Fucking asshole.
It's on my Verizon plan, so
Oh, how nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got the same thing at HBO Max. I got AT&T, so that works out pretty good.
Is that all you get? HBO?
Yeah.
I get Hulu,
Well, that's because they're all the
Disney.
same.
Okay,
Now
But I
they weren't before.
hate your version of Hulu that you get.
Wait,
It has
what's wrong with it? Oh,
It has
ew.
the stupid ads. And
And I
they're the
can't upgrade.
same ads like all the time. It's so
Mm.
annoying.
There was
Ew.
one ad that used to come on for fuck, what was it called? Some medical condition.
And you
I
probably
like
And-
memorized it. Yeah.
Header.
Hediochromia.
No.
No, I don't know. I think that's when you have two different colors.
HLS.
There's
That's
a-
all I know. Is
HLS.
HLS.
Yes. There was like and the girl was talking about her armpit and
Yeah.
stuff.
I have unpicked hair. It's bad.
Shave
It's
it.
terrible.
It was so
Shave
annoying.
it.
I hate Hulu ads. And I'll get like I'll turn a show on Hulu. I'll get so into the show, and then all of a sudden there's an ad about some medical. I'm like, God dang it.
I will say, as much as I love TV and I make my own TV shows or channels and I put commercials on them, I hate commercials. And I will pay to not have ads every time. Not for me, bro. I have YouTube Premium because YouTube fucking sucks now. If you're watching it on a TV, there's ways around it, but I don't want to fucking deal with that. We went to a cabin, last year, and I watched a YouTube, like a 3-minute video. There was 4 ads on it.
Yeah. I mean,
Who-
they got to make their
Yeah.
money somehow, but like,
Who
we don't give a fuck.
has that amount of time or patience to watch
Yeah.
a 3-minute video where
Into
the
a
ads are
fucking 4
longer?
minute-
Fuck that. I'll
Yeah.
pay that $12.99 a month. I don't
Mhm.
give a shit. God damn. Anyways,
And also,
Mandalorian. what?
like if I'm
What?
invested in the show and then an ad comes up, I'm like, okay, well,
You son of a bitch.
now I'm out of it.
They know.
I've been pulled out.
I wonder if there's like an algorithm where it's like, all right, they've watched this show longer than the other shows. We're doing more ads on it because they ain't stopping.
It's annoying.
I mean, they do them when like commercials are supposed to happen, but I still don't want them. And I tried upgrading Hulu and I just can't do it.
We got to
Not
get the
with
Hulu, ESPN, Disney Plus bundle with
That's what I
without
have.
ads. Yeah, but you got to get without ads.
I don't know how to add that.
You probably can't do it through Verizon because what they offer
That's the
is-
problem.
Yeah, and that's why they.
I
do
don't
it.
want to pay for it, so
Right. And that's how they get you because, well, now you got ads. And now
Yeah.
you got to pay if you don't want ads. And now you got a customer.
Aren't you technically paying for it? Isn't it just like an
comes-
add-on?
it
If
comes
you're,
free
I mean,
with
it's
I'm sure there's a way they were like, hey, $6.99.
Free.
Fucking, whatever. No, we're just gonna put it into the.
Mm-hmm.
When I had Disney Plus, I think, through my Verizon, it was not. The first year, I think it was free. But then it wasn't free. It was just like a lesser cost than getting it through.
You might want to look that up.
It still says free.
Okay, maybe you're still in the first year, or maybe it was like a 3-year contract. I know they sometimes work
Probably.
like that.
Yeah, probably 3.
But I remember with the HBO Max one, it was like for life. I was like, it better fucking be. And I was like, show me whatever.
Yeah, because you had to call them and figure that out.
Well, so I got like an unlimited plan or something. Oh, I remember what happened. So when the iPhone first came out, here's me being an old motherfucker. The iPhone 3GS. Yeah, I used to have an iPhone, guy. Is that amazing?
You need another one.
No, fuck that shit. They're the devil. When they first came out, there was a deal with AT&T, and it was AT&T only if you got it through. Well, I think AT&T was the first one that launched the iPhone, but it was you could get unlimited, and you get unlimited data, unlimited talk, text, whatever, and it was boom. Then I see him too.
Motherfucker.
Then it was.
Oh.
Did you catch it?
You can never open your hand again.
Squeeze.
I don't know. It might be dead.
Oh.
Oh.
Anyways, it was if you stayed on that plan, you were good, right? And I never changed, never whatever for the longest time. And then they finally like sent me a letter or called me like, hey, by the way, we're switching plans up, blah, blah, blah. I said, hey, look at this ironclad contract you sent me. If I don't change, I have this, right? And I had to talk to like 3 or 4 different people, and they're finally like, okay, we'll give you the same thing for the same price. It's fine. I was like, goddamn fucking right. And they're like, and HBO? And they're like, we can do that too. I was like, hey, fuck better. I'll go to Verizon. Wasn't going to go to T-Mobile, fucking Verizon. Anyways, Mandalorian.
I'm
What?
just going to have you negotiate everything that I have to pay for ever.
Just
it makes sense.
Just hand the phone. Hi, this is Randall.
Yeah.
Just give me all your information in front. Like, here's your social security, everything, whatever. And I will fucking do what it
You've
needs
done
to
that
do.
with cars. You've done that, obviously, with the phone. With your sound system.
Oven.
For sure, the oven.
We're not going to
That
talk
was a
about
good
that
one.
on fucking
No, that was a good one, though.
being recorded.
Yeah. You just got to figure it out.
There's a time and a place to put your foot down or to do something, and you got to know that fine line. You also got to know the people you're talking to, of who you can do it to. It's an art that I learned from Mr. Muscolzi.
Yeah.
So, Mandalorian. What did we like about the episode?
Like not like a scene, but like just in
Just
general.
what do we like? So this is what we're trying here. I'm trying new stuff because this is TV.
Okay.
It's got to be a bit
Okay,
different.
okay.
So we're gonna do what did you like about the episode? What didn't you like about the episode? So we'll go cool. What do we like about the episode?
Fuck me, I can't
Yeah,
do that.
Can't get it.
I mean, obviously, I know Star Wars, so I already knew that Yoda was in there, but
It's not Yoda.
I mean, well, Baby Yoda. I'm just gonna call him Baby Yoda.
That's fine.
Yeah, I don't know what his name is yet.
No one does
I've
at this
only
point.
seen
Yeah,
one
you're
episode.
right. You're right.
Baby Yoda. I like how it's gonna. I can't think of words.
Welcome to my life.
God, this is rough.
You like how it's going to develop?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes, I like the lead up on how it's going to develop with said Baby Yoda and finding out who the Mandalorian is. They kind of, I mean, obviously they kept him a secret
Right. Yeah.
because he's a Mandalorian.
Right.
Mando.
Right.
Mondo?
Mando.
I think he said Mondo.
It's Mando.
Either way, yeah. I like not knowing what's going to happen, what's going to go on.
Okay, I'll let me piggyback on that. I like it too. To me, this show is like an old Western. It
Mhm.
feels like that, old style shooting methods where you're looking at like long, kind of like weird, controlled. Like, hey, this guy's walking through this. You're making me laugh. This guy's walking through this door. Let's show the door and like the opening and their silhouettes and everything. It just has that old school Western style.
The spinning door. It's like
Yeah.
what are they called?
Swinging doors.
No, they have a fucking name. In Western movies, when they kick,
Oh, the like
kick open the
wood
door,
like saloon doors.
Those are the
Saloon
same,
doors.
same.
Yeah. So I just like the whole idea of that. And again, most Westerns, you're dealing with a man who's mysterious and you don't know his origins. You don't know what he's doing. You don't know what he's capable of. Obviously, they kind of hint at it a couple times, even with the one character saying, why are you helping me? And he's just like, well, I want you to take care of this fucking settlement because I've heard Mandalorians don't have a problem. go.
Yeah.
I have spoken. Like, come on. That's kind of cool. Tries to
I have spoken.
he tries to give him money and he tries to say, hey, do this. Why are you helping me? Kind of thing. He's like, he's doing it for him and the people there. Like, I want these people gone. Fuck this settlement, and they've been nothing but trouble. So you do it.
He literally said, I have spoken, and made it turn.
What a boss. It's hilarious. So, do you got anything that you liked about the episode? I know we kind of talked about the ending before and everything like that, but anything that you could be like, okay, I like this.
I liked Baby Yoda.
That's something you like about an episode. And I will say,
Baby Yoda is cute
every
as fuck.
episode that keeps going on, you're going to look at this bucking Baby Yoda and you're going to be like, I want one.
I mean, I liked, the fights, the gun scene
The
wasn't,
blasters.
it wasn't, everything it probably was for you guys, for me.
Well, yeah,
But
sure.
them, like, kind of teaming up for that, and then him killing him, that
That's cool.
turn, yeah.
I liked how he's like, we're just going to self-destruct right now. Like
Yeah,
five times.
yeah,
It's like,
that,
stop
throughout
it.
that part.
Right. I like it because there's like kind of Marvel humor in there, but then it's kind of like a subdued where it's like, okay, that's funny, but I don't need to laugh out loud at it.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's a better type of humor for this type of show because, again, he is this mysterious dude that you don't want to be not a badass. You don't want him cracking jokes and being kind of stupid.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, he is like making some one-liners. You're like, all right, yeah, fuck you. Okay.
Like, what? Don't do that.
Right.
No, don't self-destruct. Stop it.
It's funny. Anything we didn't like about the episode or anything that's not working for you?
I mean, not yet. It was only a 35-minute episode,
38.
really.
39.
Well, with credits.
Okay.
Taking those out. There's not much to not like yet. At least not for me.
Sure. I got you.
I don't know what her opinion was on that, since she wanted to quit.
I don't want to watch this anymore. This fucking sucks. And then they were like, wait a second.
okay,
this
no,
is awesome.
no. Look, so because I'm sitting there thinking about coming here and being like, what the heck am I going to talk about if I'm not really into the show?
You should know by now that most of the time it's just anything.
I know. No, I mean, kind of what I. This is multiple text from his mom.
I know.
I know. Calm down, Mom.
Randy's texting Randy. It's fine.
No, I mean, it's kind of what I already said. Like, there's nothing I necessarily, like, it wasn't that I necessarily didn't like anything. It was more just like, there was nothing to really fully pull me in.
Nothing to latch you on to
Yeah.
and be like, okay, yeah, I'm in. I got you. So that leads into my next question, which is, are you hooked yet, and do you want to keep watching?
I was hooked because I knew this was Baby Yoda. I like it because of Baby Yoda.
That's it.
It doesn't take much.
So far.
So
And
hold on.
He was the
hold
whole
on.
reason that I wanted to, like, it got me through it, knowing that he was at the end. I knew he was going to find him.
Okay, so then let's take out Baby Yoda. Did you like anything else in the
Yeah,
episode?
the fight scene's pretty cool.
What about anything else that went on?
That's really all that happened.
He's an 8-year-old.
I know that.
I mean, that's.
Okay, so going back,
So,
another.
really, all they did was he showed up to the saloon,
Mhm.
had a fight scene,
Yeah.
went out, got on his ship after he got the bounty,
Mhm.
he got on another ship, went home.
Well, there's some other
And
stuff
then-
in there that, again, if you're not a Star Wars guy, you're just going, okay, he's just doing this, he's just doing that. The fact that you're glossing over that we just saw a whole bunch of people frozen in carbonite is like a huge deal in Star Wars because this is the first time we're seeing that.
Like I
Minus-
said, I've only made it to halfway through the third.
Well, then you saw Han Solo being frozen in carbonite. That's a huge deal in those movies,
Oh, yeah.
right?
He was.
This is the first time we're seeing that again in the Star Wars universe on live
It's been a
screen.
year.
Huh?
It's
Well,
been
for
a year since I've
you,
seen him. No, since I've seen the movie.
right?
Over a year.
Okay. What I'm saying is, since the 85 or 87, whenever that movie came out, 80, 78, 84, 87? Yeah. 84, when that movie came out, man, that's 85 probably. Doesn't matter. Since that movie came out, this is the first time we're seeing someone frozen in carbonite. So to see that on screen is like a huge deal to Star Wars nerds.
Which I am
But
not.
to you, you're just like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Right. So
I was
that's what I'm
actually
saying.
very confused.
Well, that's how he's capturing his prisoners and moving them around. And who freezes who in carbonite in that movie? Fucking Boba Fett. Who is what? Amanda fucking Lorian.
Smart.
Wow.
It's what I'm trying to say is there's care, there's attention to detail, there's the lore involved with all of Star Wars that this show gets right, and that Dave Filoni has really paid attention to it and really sat down and created and cultivated this fucking show to be Star Wars. And that's why I like it, because it is, to me, when I think of Star Wars, I think of like this gritty, futuristic, dirty, like we're using old technology, but that technology is like thousands of years from us. But to them, we're still using this old piece of shit, right? Like this,
like how the one car was like popping,
Right.
breaking, things are falling off.
right? It's hilarious,
Yeah.
And that's Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like you see all these people in this dirty, grungy like area, but they're all using like future technology. But to them, again, it's old shit to them. It's like 1950s technologies to us. Like I don't know. That's Star Wars to me, where other people look at Star Trek and they go, it's shiny, it's bright, it's all the new whatever stuff. That's, to me, the difference. So I think this show gets this right. So for anything I didn't like about the episode, the pacing, okay, I will say the pacing could be a little bit better for this episode. Now, for me, I'm watching it, I'm like, okay, yeah. But for somebody who's not into Star Wars, I can see there is some slowdown. There is some like, oh, what the fuck is this now? Like, okay. But that's not, I'm trying to think of something that I don't actually like.
It's hard when you're a nerd.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's cool, though. I mean, I think that, there's a lot of stuff that, like, people try to bring back or try to make new, elements of that normally just doesn't work. Like, you just don't get it. So it's cool that there's something that can be this right and fun to watch and
Very true.
and for someone like you who has that can catch those background like elements. I think that's cool. I'm just not one of those people.
And that's fine. And that's the thing, though. But if you were watching something that you did care about,
Yeah.
that let's say you watched religiously as a child and they remade and you're like, oh, there's that fucking thing. There's that thing. There's that thing in the background. But it's not like in your face. You'd be like, this is fucking tight.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Right. So, all right. This is the only part we get to guess now on the show. The IMDb rating of the episode out of 10%, or 10, not 10%, fuck. You can guess
8.7.
8.7. Okay.
Mhm.
What do you think it's out of 10?
You can put points.
You can do 0.75, 0.32, point whatever you want. I think it's only 0.1, like it's a 1 decimal place.
8.2.
8.2, wow, okay. It is actually 8.6.
Fuck. So close.
That's the closest you've been on
Yeah,
anything in
for
this
a
show.
very long time.
Yeah, good guess. Look
Yeah.
at you. So now we got a new part of the show. This is
Ooh.
user reviews
Uh-oh.
on IMDb, the top and the bottom. So
Are you just going to read them?
we're going to read
Fuck
2
yeah.
reviews. The top review that's on there and the worst review.
one.
So the top review, 10 out of 10. The Return of Star Wars was put on there by Ian Brace 25 of March of 2020. He says, this is the closest to Star Wars we've had since Return of the Jedi, and I don't think I even blinked during it, and we have a great new feel without the need of lightsaber-wielding main character. Something I wanted to talk about. Star
He's a
Wars.
liar.
Why?
He blinked.
Oh, yeah. Fucking sitting there. This is awesome! Something we didn't talk about yet is when you're thinking about Star Wars, right? You're thinking lightsabers. You're thinking, right? You're thinking sword wielding, crazy shit. What is this? Is just a Western, dude. Like it's just a dude walking around in the desert shooting people.
Yeah.
But that desert's cold.
Instead of a hat,
Right.
he's got a helmet.
I kind of fucking dig it. All right. The bottom review. A boring children's show. This is submitted James
Emily.
Beck 9 of March of 2020 as well.
Said it was a boring children's show. I was just saying,
This has got to be the dumbest, most boring show I've ever seen. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and it pains me to see this show be such a terrible failure. But you know what pains me more? To look around and see so many people giving it rave reviews, fawning over it like it's a New Hope all over again. Are you serious, people? What do you see in this show aside from some cool special effects? Give me a break. This is a terrible, terrible show where nothing interesting happens. I cannot for the life of me see why anyone over 10 years old would like this trash. This is after the first
God
episode.
Damn, dude.
Let it build,
It's
bro.
a pilot.
He's letting some other stuff out.
I think so.
He's just not in a good place right now.
I don't think so, because if you're such a huge Star Wars fan and you like the original movies, there's no way you're not watching this going like this. This is just
Yeah.
like the original movies.
I hope we find another review from him, and it's a 10 out of 10.
We might. We'll see.
I really
I
hope
got his
so.
name here. We'll see what it is. So, with that, we're gonna get to our final decisions here, out of 10 as well. Randy first.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to give it an 8.7.
8.7.
said.
Just the same, almost the same as IMDb.
Because, yeah. Well, that was my score.
8.6.
So
Yeah, no, I got you.
when I give my score, it's my score.
Okay.
when I'm
So you're not
guessing.
guessing.
I'm not guessing what other people think. I'm guessing what I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Is that why
Um,
you don't do so well?
That's probably what it is.
look, okay.
That's not what you're supposed to do.
Let him.
I'm doing my best.
Has anyone explained to you the?
Nope.
Like I said, it made me. I like the not knowing what's going to happen. It makes me want to watch the next episode, and I'm going to. You're home all the time, so you're going to have to watch it with me.
Oh no.
No. I just want to see how it progresses, and this one, it keeps you like guessing, not knowing what's going to happen.
Keeps you engaged.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good review.
I watched it twice today.
Oh,
So,
look at that. Yeah.
yeah.
He watched an episode twice
I mean,
just
I had
for
to.
you.
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
You know.
What do you got? Don't look at me and be like, oh, I gotta give it
Um,
this score or whatever. I'm not in the room. This is you watching it going, fucking, I gotta watch it. What would you give it?
Maybe a 6.
I mean, that's better than the how you've been talking about
yeah.
it.
Oh, I don't.
I was
I
expecting
think.
like a 4.
Well, I think the 6 is.
Generous?
It's because it's keeping you on edge at the end. You were like, oh, they fucking got me. Now I gotta watch it again. Now I gotta keep going.
Okay, no.
Yeah.
It probably would be more of like a 4 if I was just
Yeah.
like being honest, based on
Be
like.
honest.
Well, I think more.
We don't want
I
you to
think the
lie.
6 is more. It's not like I was lying. I think the 6 is more that like I'm not rating it just based off of like my feeling in that moment. I'm rating it. I'm giving it a higher rating because I am understanding of like the show and like what's cool about the show, and I also feel like it deserves some leniency for being the first episode. I think pilots you
Okay.
got a lot. So that's more of why I went up to the 6.
Okay.
If I was literally just basing it off of like how I felt in that moment today, it'd probably be more toward a 4.
Okay.
But I don't feel like that's fair, in a sense.
Okay. Well, I mean, James Beck 9 gave it a 1 out of 10. So
I don't think that's fair.
I don't think it is either. So I'm giving this episode an 8.5. I think this is the return for Star Wars form for me. The atmosphere, the storytelling, the costumes, the slow pace. This is what I want out of a Star Wars show, and it's very well done. The ending leaves you wanting so much, much more. Episode 2, here we come. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just gets you ready. You just want to next. I gotta know they're about to touch fingers. Like, come on. I want to watch more.
His little hand coming up.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you just want to be like, and they cut it right about he's about to touch each other. Like, kind of cool.
I feel very
He's 50, so it's fine.
like middle ground. Like it's not that I'd be like, oh my god, I don't want to watch the show anymore. But it's also I could not watch it and be totally fine with that.
Watch the next episode and tell me if you feel the same.
Okay,
Because the minute,
I'm gonna
Fucking-
have to apparently.
yeah, the minute fucking Baby Yoda gets on screen, you're like, oh my fucking god, I need it.
I felt about Groot.
And Groot sucks.
It's a cute little tree.
You know what's funny? You realize why they did Baby Groot? Because of Baby Yoda. You guys don't
he died in the movie,
right?
and they brought him back.
Sure. But the whole Baby Yoda thing was going crazy, and they went, well, we got to capitalize on this and
And
have
it
a
worked.
Baby Groot. I mean, it sure
did
did.
work.
It did
Baby,
work.
I love Baby Groot.
Yeah. Him just running around,
Right,
not
yeah.
knowing what he's
He
doing,
was so cute.
chasing the little rat.
Yeah. So imagine what Baby Yoda's going to do
Sip coffee.
and other stuff.
Yeah. Is the sipping coffee scene real?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
There's a lot more scenes that are even better than that.
He's so stupid.
It's great. We're going to find out. So join us on, I guess, the next episode of The Decision Tube where we continue going with The Mandalorian.
Or maybe it'll be a different show. Who knows? Two guys who grow in pizza place.
Oh my goodness.
We're not going to get into that.
Why? Such a good show.
Well, I know. Well, I would sit here for another like 20 minutes. We don't need to do that.
Oh, you mean tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, not tonight.
Today.
Yeah.
But hey, if you enjoyed that, follow us on our social medias at The Decision Reel, which is the main show of this offshoot here. Where can you find us, Randy? Where can you find us?
Oh, you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. I don't know why I said it in that order. I
Don't
don't
matter.
like that at all. Or wherever you listen to your podcast. Or you can go to www.thedecisionreel.com, find some merch,
Hey,
which
we got
there it
merch.
is.
We got merch.
Embrace the cheese. You get some hats, get some leggings, a cup.
Cup. You can get some stickers.
And you can also
put
find the
everything.
other episodes on there as well.
You can. Awesome. Cool. And if you're on YouTube, subscribe. Peace out.
Bye.